Good? Ready? All right, let's do this. There were two people born on a beautiful day in history. That was July 21st, 1979. The other one was Phil Wickham, July 21st, 1970.
Are you talking about my birthday? April 5th. Not even, what are you talking about, 70? 84, my friend. Do I look that old?
It's the sun, bro. You've been out in the sun too much.
Dude, it's that wrinkled raisin skin, I guess, that I have.
I'm just kidding. You look beautiful, man. You look so young.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I believe you. 100%.
You can't do this. All right. So Dexter here, I'm like, man, Phil and Stevo go way back. Like we're talking pre-canons, but like back when his nickname was still Apocryphil. Am I right?
Back, Miss Velma, kindergarten.
Yes.
Miss Sandy,
Miss Sandy.
second grade. Remember what happened in recess? Tell them what happened in recess.
So she...
These are always my favorite interviews. So for real though, been a long time, like a long time. Friends of the show,
summer, probably.
Since at least last summer.
Yeah. Friends of the show, friends of you guys. We're all friends of other people, separately and together.
I gotta ask. I know, right? I gotta ask. Let's get kind of serious for like 8 seconds. Living Hope, like new jam. You have this heart for writing music for your church. I mean, not just the church, which in turn turns out you actually are good at it, and a lot of churches like your stuff. So, Living Hope is a track that you did with Brian Johnson, and it's a very interesting writing process.
Yeah.
You got to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, every song kind of has its own story, you know. And this song, since then I've seen him face to face. We've hung out. But when I wrote the song with him, the last time I'd seen him previously was 10 years before, and I still had not seen him when we were writing the song. He texted me this voice memo, said, "Hey, bro," I got this voice memo. It was Brian Johnson's like, "Hey, bro, like check this voice memo out, dude." He's got this deep voice, and he's just like, like humming this melody, and I texted him back. I said, "Man, something about this reminds me of those like old hymn melodies that I love, 'Come Thou Fount,' and those kind of vibes." And I said, "What if we like kind of reach for that with these verses, like make them really thick and full of the gospel and full of hope in the future, and then maybe we'll just write a big kind of chorus refrain that can kind of tie it all together." And he was like, "Man, let's do it." And so over the next month, not over the next day, but over the next month, there's probably 40 voice memos and 100 texts, just like, "Man, this lyric, no, that lyric, no, that, this is really great, but what if we put it in this verse?" And we dissected that. Like we had a moment of inspiration of like, it's going to be about hope, and it's going to have this kind of like old timeless feel. Okay, that's the anchor and that's the inspiration. Like, where is this song? And we did some real digging, like rewrote, and at the end, we were like, man, we need to have some, just a special for verse 3. And out of nowhere, this idea of like, then came the morning that sealed the promise, your buried body began to breathe. And then he's like, what if we say something about like the roaring lion coming back to life? I was like, out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. And we're just like, bro, we did it, you know? Like, finally.
So it took a month to write it with Brian, and then Bethel took 27 minutes to sing it, and you did it in 4. Talk about that.
I love Bethel. They're actually, they could change plans, but last I heard is I think in a couple days they're coming out with a live version of that song, and this new girl that's been a part of. I hope it's at least that long. It needs to be, but a new girl named Bethany Whorle, WHORLE. So I don't know how pronounced the H is. I think it's probably whirl, but you could say Whorle. She's an amazing singer, and she just kills it. So I can't wait to have that out. My version, Living Hope, is out, going to radio soon, and I just, it's been so cool already to see how this song is connecting with churches, even all around the world already. It's like, this is crazy, you know? What a blessing.
Hanging out with Phil Wickham right now, AT&T Stadium for Harvest America. So this Harvest America.
W in there. HWARVEST.
So tonight's going to be insane, man, because we're at the stadium where the Cowboys live. This is their home, and lose. Yeah, good call. Is this one of the biggest places you've performed? I'm sure I can almost guarantee you probably played bigger.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's a bigger venue I've performed in. No, I was gonna say maybe there's been a field somewhere with more than. I guess it depends how many people show up. If this place is full tonight, then it might be the biggest thing I've ever been a part of.
Is it crazy for you when you're up on stage? Because here, I know they don't let people out on the grass area, you know, so it's just people in the stands. Is that a kind of a crazy thing for an artist? Is it kind of weird?
It is weird because you think it's like this giant energetic thing, and there is something about it's like, whoa, there's all these. It's almost in your head. You just realize, well, there's 40, 50, 60, 80,000 people looking at me right now, let alone online. And so that's kind of in your head. But what's right in front of you, it's like so big that your world is just kind of the stage and your band, and you're just like, just want to sing the right lyrics, you know? And I hope out there they all hear it. You know what I mean? It's like it feels so distant that you're just like, your world gets smaller than if you were in like 1,000-seat church or something where you can see everybody's faces.
Dude. You've been part of this for a long time, rocking it, whether it's a Harvest or with Pastor Greg doing a lot of amazing things. Is there one thing that you just haven't yet conquered that you're like, I need to do this in my life?
I'd like to win a boogie boarding championship.
Really?
I don't know. I just trying to think of. Man, I honestly, I love where I'm at right now. It's some of it's tough, some of it's amazing, some of it's relaxing, most of it's stressful. But I love where I'm at. You know, I've got an amazing wife who's really truly my best friend, and 4 healthy kids. Who can? That's kind of rare now. I always feel like I'm hearing sad stories left and right, and just so thankful for their health, and they're beautiful and young, and an amazing band that I get to tour around with, and a great crew. And I want to write songs for the church to sing, and for my church, my church has now become Harvest Christian Fellowship with Greg. I've been there, I'm there 2 times a month, every month the last almost 2 years now, and this new record coming out is called Living Hope, and almost every song I wrote on that record coming up was songs for our church Harvest to sing, and so the fact that other churches would grab onto those tunes and make them their own, there's nothing more satisfying. Like, I could say maybe it'd be cool to win a Grammy or something, but honestly, if I heard like another song caught fire in churches, would be 100 times better for me than it's like if I got nominated for a Grammy or something. It's just what I want to do.
Everybody's got that worship song, like as a worship leader, that is either the go-to or just the one that, like, no matter how many thousands of times you've played it, is like your jam. Apart from This Is Amazing Grace or anything else on CCLI with the name F. Wickham on it, or P. Sorry, I meant Phil. It's like the P. Yes. Thank you. That's going viral. Apart from any of that, what's the one that you're like, I need to do this?
Man, I think it changes. I don't know if there is one for me. I'm so bad at the favorite, the one. There's like 17 that I'm like, and it depends on the moment, you know, and like what's happening in the room.
Don't have time for you to say 17.
Okay, so you know what I'm so thankful for is the song my friends, the Torwalts, Brian and Katie. Yes. They wrote the song Holy Spirit. It's become a giant song on CCLI and all that. But the fact that that's a prayer that I think 20 years ago, especially 50 years ago for sure, but even 20 years ago, there's a lot of churches that would have been afraid to sing a song like that because it's like an unknown thing, and maybe they don't really go that way of like talking about the Holy Spirit or to the Holy Spirit, but that's becoming a more common idea. It's like, man, we want to be more aware of your presence, God. And Holy Spirit, we acknowledge your existence and your ability to totally change the atmosphere of the room. It says where the presence of the Lord is, there is freedom, you know. And I believe, because I've seen it over and over, that real breakthrough happens in people's lives, and healing and clarity and so many things when we hang out in the presence of God. And I think there's something powerful saying, like, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here, not just in the place, but I think when I sing, it's like, you're welcome here to govern me and to sit on the throne of who I am, you know. And so I'm so thankful that I could sing that anywhere, and people like, yeah, I could get onto that, you know. That's cool.
All right, Phil Wickham, everybody, or excuse me, Phil Wickham. Thanks so much, man. We love you, and we're looking forward to seeing you tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.